You're watching Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. I'm Michael Rosenbaum, and I'm here too.
Hey everybody, Jim Cummings here, and if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks everybody for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show. And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. I'm producer Chris, the legend Jim Cummings. How are you doing today?
Another day in paradise. We have some wonderful things to pronounce today and announce. And
that's right. We have an episode coming up for you guys. As you know by the title of this video, this is an interview with Michael Rosenbaum. And it's a great conversation. And we had a lot of fun with this one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, anytime you get to interview Superman's greatest enemy, it's got to be cool. You know, and Lex Luthor. See, I'm a big comic book guy, so I know all about it. And anyway, you guys are going to like it.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a guy.
We hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode, a conversation with Jim Meskimen. That was another good one. And we've been having a lot of fun lately on this show.
We sure have.
I feel like we've been getting a lot of good interviews.
Yeah,
like people are really opening up.
And so like and subscribe, and tell a friend.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we're having some fun. Everybody seems to be getting into it, having a good time, and we're finding out new things all the time.
Yeah. Please do like and subscribe if you like content like this and want to see more. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. It shows videos recommended more to you, and it really helps us out to see what you guys like. And if you like this content so much that you want to see more, you can go to Patreon, and there's bonus content on Patreon that's exclusive to Patreon, as well as early access to some of these episodes and much, much more. So you can go check that out. And
you'll feel the
difference. Not least,
that's right.
Jim, why don't you tell them about the merchandise that you have?
Well, it just so happens that we have a complete line of merchandise, which includes a complete line of T-shirts and really cool stuff. And you never know what's going to be popping up there. Little parody there. Can anybody tell what movie this is? What's that? The Karate Kid? No, it's the Honey Kid. And anyway, I don't think you can see my back, but it's okay. You're not missing much. But like and subscribe, and then go shopping. How about that?
And last but not least, you're appearing at a signing this weekend in San Diego.
This is true. It's going to be called the Stacked Pax, P-A-X. And this is in El Cajon, San Diego. And it's April 5th, and it's Saturday only. So please come by and say hi. Bring some stuff you'd like signed. If not, I got plenty of stuff there. But come by, say hi. We'll have a couple grins, and everybody will leave happy. See you then.
All right. We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode with Michael Rosenbaum. We'll see you in the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. I'm producer Chris, joined by, of course, Jim Cummings himself. And today we have a very special guest. You know him, you love him, Michael Rosenbaum. And if you don't know him, Smallville Inside of You podcast. If you haven't seen this, another great podcast here on YouTube. Lovely to have you.
Thanks for having me. We've been trying to do this for a while, and schedules and all that, but I was like, I want to do this. Chris, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And we're here. And you did my podcast, which I love. People love that episode.
Do they?
Yeah.
And rightly so. We were spectacular.
Absolutely. And I love, talking about mental health and life and journeys and adversity and all that stuff. And we got deep.
Yes.
Do you get deep on this show?
It was deep. Oh, very.
Do you?
Oof. We have a shovel somewhere that I could prove it. Oh, okay, maybe not.
All right, well, that's deep.
But,
Getting a shovel, it's deep.
Yeah, but it's great to have you, man. Thank you so much
for having me.
Taking your time out. And we usually meet at conventions and such as that. So it's great to be semi-normal.
Yeah, because when you're there, you're like, hey, Jim, how are you? Good to see you, Michael. And it's he's like, well, all right, great, all right. It's like there's people around you. There's, you can't kind of just take a breath, and you just kind of got to give all that energy to folks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
Are you exhausted at the end of those? Yeah, I find myself like, at the end of the day, just like drained. I'm like, why am I tired? That was fun and easy. And I'm like, because you just gave all your energy to people. You want people to be happy.
Yeah.
So,
I was in rock and roll for a million years. I was in a million bands. Only one made money. Oh, two. But it was. I liken it to that. At the end of the night, because you're on fire for like 3 hours or whatever it is, and then you're. And then you're
don't
not.
touch me.
Yeah,
don't
then
talk to me.
Yeah. then hand me a really cold beer, and I'm going to sit here and be quiet.
Well, are you a Heineken guy?
A who?
Heineken?
No, I haven't been much of anything lately, but probably a Corona.
Corona. I just always remember Blue
Corona
Velvet.
for sure.
Remember? Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, yeah,
Dennis
that was
Hopper.
that commercial.
You swear on this podcast?
Fuck no. I mean, we can't. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Son of a oopsie. Just kidding. What I meant to say was, no. See,
That's good.
self-beeping. Can we get that out later? Yeah. I'm Winnie the Pooh over here, okay? Yeah. I'm Winnie the Pooh. Will you give me a break?
Hey, how are you? Hey, Winnie, start swearing. Have you ever done that? Swearing as Winnie the Pooh?
No. Well, maybe.
Is that something you don't choose to do?
Only in private.
In private. Yeah. You wouldn't want to. Yeah, because that would kind of taint it or whatever. It might upset people, like,
Yeah, you don't want to poop on the coffee table.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah, I could
Equally
never
egregious.
do. I've tried to do, like, I could do my own cartoon voices that I guess I make up or whatever. But stuff that you do, it's so. I find it fascinating and very difficult, even for a lot of the characters and stuff that I've done, to find a character for them to, we talked about this, for you to get exactly what they want. There's so many other actors and they're belting out stuff and giving all these, and there's something, I always say, I was interviewed yesterday and I said, I think the voiceover world, voice acting, it's harder to get work than it is in regular acting. It feels that way.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Well, my joke is, anybody could do it if they get to use their face. Okay, maybe not in my particular case, but yeah, I've said this 100 times. I didn't know it was impossible to break into, voiceover.
Right.
I was already working for about a year and a half, and I read the great Gordon Hunt, God rest his soul, the king of Hanna-Barbera. He did Flintstones, did voice director for so many years, Helen Hunt's dad. And he wrote How to Break into Show Business. Well, the 5th chapter is how to start a voiceover career. And I was already working, thank you, Lord, when I read this. And it says, don't even bother. There's 5 people that do this in Hollywood. You're not one of them. And it was that abrupt. And then you turned the page. That was it.
Do you know there's a book I read in college, and it was called, maybe it was Being an Actor or something. And the first page was, if you don't have a unique personality, if you're not getting the roles you want or strong supporting roles, if you're not this, all these things, you shouldn't be an actor. Stop reading this book. And I go, I'm all these. Fuck you. Page 2. Because I thought in my feeble mind that, and back then I was driven and just so much confidence. I think when you're younger that I was like fearless. And I don't know what happens, but when you get older,
that's key. Yeah,
when you're older, it seems like it sort of dissipates. It just it's not always there
or necessary,
spark. Or maybe
because
necessary.
You've made X amount of progress. See, now you're you.
Maybe.
See, somebody had to be you.
You don't need to push it.
Yeah, right.
Because they could hire me. Please, nerves, everything. They could see that a mile away. When you walk in, if they don't see something confident from the first time. Yeah,
that's right. And do you, a lot of people, a lot of people will say, so how do you do it? How do you break in? How do you do it? And I mean, I always tell them the truth. I say, well, first you work in a steel mill. Then you move to New Orleans, and then you're a deckhand on a riverboat for a few years. And then you make a demo tape and Hollywood calls, and then you get to answer incredible questions like this. And that's I'm pretty sure that's how everybody does it. Or maybe it could have been just me.
I wasn't meant to do anything. I was, according to everybody who I grew up with. I mean, I wasn't popular. I was the shortest kid in my high school. And if you asked anybody, like, who Michael Rosenbaum is, I mean, now I've done something. I've done a couple things. Right.
They'll know now.
but it would have been like, did he go to our high school? It was one of those things. And not even my parents thought I'd amount to anything.
Well, they knew who you were, though.
They knew exactly.
Okay.
But
that was good.
So I didn't get the confidence from them. It was I fed off the attention and the external thing.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Somebody saying you're great, like you'd believe it, and then it would just be gone, and then you need somebody else to say it. So by acting, it was like instant gratification. Like, oh man, you were great last night. It was like, wow, somebody's telling me I'm good for the first time in my life.
Right.
And that sounds sad, but that's what sort of gave me that energy. Like, hey, maybe I'm good at this. Maybe I should keep doing that. But I think I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. And then thankfully through therapy and all those things.
Were your parents hard on you?
I think, it was just more of, my brother, he woke up one night and he just started writing in his journal. And for some reason, he thought he'd share this with me. Mm-hmm. And he sent it to me, this email. And in the email, he talks about each kid. And he goes, and then there was Michael. No one paid
that's good.
No one paid attention to him. It was like he didn't exist. And, I remember kind of crying.
Damn.
My eyes kind of filled up. And I go, why are you crying? I wasn't upset because he said that. I was upset because he acknowledged something that I had felt.
Mm. Ooh.
You know what I mean? That
you were upset that it
wasn't
be
that the
kernel of truth got to you.
Yeah, there wasn't just a lot of, hey, I'm really proud of you. You're talented. You can go far. Really give this a shot. I never heard of that.
You too, huh? Yeah, kind of same here.
And that pushes you.
Yes. People don't realize that.
It's like you want to prove yourself, and you will go to battle. Yeah. You will go to battle. Everything all right, Chris?
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just checking on stuff.
Yeah, no, I like to worry. I worry about everybody.
See, okay.
If you see
that's
me,
worrisome.
If you see me doing stuff back here, don't worry about it.
That's definitely worrisome.
Yeah.
But see, I this is undoubtedly a flaw, but I'm propelled on by negative criticism.
You like it?
No, I don't like it, but then it gives me, oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
I can remember Jim Mon, I don't want to mention his name, but he threw me up against the lockers. I was a sophomore in high school, and I go, I know you think you're the shit, don't you, Cummings? Yeah. Oh, yeah. What are you and your little band? What are you going to do? Sing? You going to play drums? And I was thinking, yeah. And then what are you going to do? And I was in speech. I was a speech interpretation. Made it all the way to state. I was second in the state of Ohio. Thank you. Humorous interpretation. And when I found out I was second because I did 3 separate speeches, and you were only supposed to do one. And I thought I was showing off, and apparently I was, to my detriment. Doesn't matter. First, who cares about that?
Yeah.
But I was propelled by him telling me that I'll never be anything. I will never, ever, ever, I won't. Not even like, and Lou Shiver, this stupid guidance counselor, he told me, oh, wow, like it was yesterday. He says, well, Cummings, it's like this. I think that you have a future there to where you could work perhaps on a construction site and say there are carpenters and they want a 2x4. Now, you're going to have to know your 2x4 from your 2x6. And I'm going, yeah. And he's going to want one or the other, and you got to be on the ball, partner. And he's actually giving me advice about my burgeoning career and I wasn't even the carpenter. I was the guy handing him the wood to cut. I didn't even get the hammer and the nail.
Just razzing you.
I was just, and I thought, and I said, you will brag that you knew me, you asshole. That's probably not the best way to be encouraged.
No, but sometimes it's the only way.
But if it's all you got.
Sometimes it's the only way. I mean, it's like if everybody's like not believing in you, you got to find a way.
Yeah,
you got to find a way and ultimately believe in yourself. I mean, that's just, I know it sounds simple and cliche.
Yeah.
But you have to, everybody's got something. And you have to find that and go with it and be proud of it and, and also work. Things don't come easily at all. I mean, I think that's a big, I don't know. I think people assume becoming an actor, it doesn't look that hard. It doesn't, all these things look easy. What do they do?
Yeah,
and even to my dad, he was like, what do you do for, I work 9 to 5. I bust my ass. I'm up at 6 in the morning. I've been working. I haven't missed a day in 40 years. What is your work? What do you do? I'm like, You know,
Well,
like, but I didn't. I just go. You have no idea what I do. You have no idea.
Yeah.
You've never asked. You know what I mean? And I love my father, but like it's just a different mentality. It's an old school mentality.
Ooh, yeah.
And
I had that one.
so I was kind of like lost in this. My mother was always, some popping pills every once in a while and always out there and like, I need a fucking Valium. And she was like, you're going to be an actor. That's great. And she's like, oh, but no one ever. My grandmother was like, do you know how difficult this is? I go, I'm going to make it. Remember this conversation. Remember this conversation. And I remember saying that to people. People are like, you know what the odds are? I go, not for me.
Yeah, those are your odds.
Yeah, those are your odds. I don't look at that. I know what's going to happen.
So was there a point in time, was there like a specific point in time when you knew that came true?
Yeah, this guy, Leo Burmester, he was a Broadway actor, and he went to Western Kentucky University, and he came down to talk to the theater class, the theater department, and certain people got to do...
Is this like when you knew?
Well, I already was starting to get lead roles and get some confidence, but he said he came down and watched people give monologues, and there was like 10 of us, and I was last, and I did it, and he goes, come here. I want you to do it this way. I want you as if you're looking in the mirror talking to yourself. And I took the direction and I did it. And he goes, come here. And all of a sudden the class is stirring. They're like, no one's gone twice, let alone 3 times. He goes, ooh. I want you to do it like this, like you're desperate, and I did it. He goes, come here. And everybody's like, what is going on?
Whoa.
And I thought, am I doing so?
Teacher's pet.
And then afterwards he grabbed me and he said, you've got it. It's all right here. It's all in your heart.
Yeah.
You've got it. Go with it. And it wasn't like, and I swear to God, before he came, I said to my roommate, Tom, this guy, he's coming. He did Broadway. He's done The Abyss with James Cameron. He's done tons of,
wow.
Yeah, big, I go, he's going to come. I'm going to give a monologue. And he's going to, he's going to introduce me to his agent and this. And he's like, all right, you're getting ahead of yourself. And he calls me at my apartment at Western Kentucky and says, "Hey, do you want to fly to New York and meet my agent?" I still have the recording.
Let me see. Let me think. When?
And I did. And I flew up a couple weeks later, and I met with them. And I wasn't ready because I wanted to finish school. But all those things, it's so true that if you believe them, if you really believe it, it will happen. If you're doing it and you're going through the motions and you're pretending like you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do this. This is yeah. You don't have a chance. You have to believe it. I'm telling you, that's the absolute truth of what happened. I thought that would happen and it happened. I manifested it.
Yeah, you did.
So
you sure did.
It's crazy. It's but like I said, I was young, I was naive, but
but it worked out. That's when it happens.
It worked out. Yeah,
I was 5. So when I knew I was good, I remember.
Is that when you were sitting in front of your TV?
Yeah. Well, we were watching, my dad, we were sitting there, black and white TV. Had I've told this before, I don't want to overdo it, but it was Jack Benny program, and Mel Blanc was he was a guest on there.
Oh, man.
And he was doing the Psy routine where he came out and he had a sombrero and everything, and he goes, well, what is your name? Psy. I see. And you were not from here. You're from Mexico. Would that be right? See. And he goes, oh, I see. Yeah. Well, we don't get a lot of tourists from Mexico here on the show. So, and he goes, oh, okay. Are we gonna just keep doing this and you're gonna give 1-syllable answers? See. And my dad goes, you see this bastard? And the bastard was Mel Blanc. And everybody was a bastard. And I said, yeah, I see that bastard. And he said, he's the guy who does all that Bugs Bunny and that Daffy Duck and that Taz and that stuff, and all the voices you see on Saturday morning when you get up and you can't wait to get down there, blah, blah, blah. He's the guy that does the voices. And I remember it plain as day. I said, well, he doesn't have to stand in the corner. Now does he? Because he's weird or, do any other. I'll do that. That was it.
At 5 years old.
Yeah, 5 years old. And I think there's a benefit to that because if you have a target that you can aim at for decades, you have a better chance of hitting it.
Yeah.
I think.
That's amazing. I have to admit, like, I think a lot of actors don't admit this, but
you were in plays and everything when you were
I
a
did
kid.
I did it. From high school, I did a play, and then college, I did tons of plays, and then I did some off Broadway and stuff.
There you go.
But I remember thinking, I want to be in the movies. I want to be famous. I want to be, you know, I wasn't like, I want to be an actor. I'm an actor.
Sure.
I want, like, one of those theatrical guys.
Oh, I know those guys.
I just, it was like, all I want to do is act. I don't need to get paid. I was like, no, I want to make a lot of money. I want to be in the movies. I want to be great.
I call that the LA approach to acting.
Yeah.
That's how everybody in LA goes into acting. I'm going to be fucking famous. Like, I don't care about taking an acting class. I'm going to be famous.
You're right. But at the same time, it was
Acting,
like,
schmacting.
it was because I loved movies.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love movies.
too.
You know, either watching Cool Hand Luke, The Godfather, The Shining.
Were you into like celebrity culture too? Like, did you watch like Extra and like TMZ and stuff like that?
I don't think so, but I remember watching the Oscars. I remember I had a dialects class, and I remember I would just do impressions, and Ray Fiennes was nominated for Saving Private Ryan.
He's so good.
Is that Saving? No, not Saving. Is it Saving Private Ryan?
No.
No, it was I know the one.
It was on D-Day. It was like the big war. Maybe that was Saving Private
not
Ryan.
Big Red one.
No, it wasn't Saving Private Ryan. It was Schindler's List.
That's it.
He was nominated for Schindler's List. And I remember just sitting there listening to his voice. You know, they have this power. When you work closely with them like I do, you see this. They have this power. And he has this. And I just remember memorizing it. And then I'm going to memorize this guy. And I just was so fascinated by actors and being a star, but being good. Not just like, I didn't want to be on some crappy show, and Lord knows I've done them, or a crappy movie, and that too. But, I loved it so much, but I wasn't afraid to say, everybody around me was like, I want to do Broadway. I want to do movies, man. I want to
Silver screen.
I want to see my name.
Up
man. There.
I want to show everybody. It comes back to that.
Yeah.
I want to show everybody. Look at him. Look what he did.
Absolutely.
But then what happened? Thank God, is I became or evolution or whatever it was. But I think I've just been humbled. Like my whole approach is just being sincere, being kind, and I remember somebody saying, as an actor or even just as a human being, always be kind to people. And by the way, you never know who you're bumping into.
Yeah.
You never know who you're talking to.
That's what I want to bring up because
that's so true.
I've met you a couple times at conventions and seen you around. Obviously, my dad and stuff from when I was a kid. But you've always struck me as like a very good networker and like a very sociable person. Like even when I see you at conventions, I always say like you're always with the cool kids. There's kind of that. There's kind of that like
you know what?
But you know what I'm talking about. There's that like hierarchy in the green room even.
Yeah.
There's like it. Not everybody hangs out with everybody, and everybody's kind of checking each other out.
I'll hang out with everybody. I don't care.
No. That's what I'm saying
I know.
about you. But you know the dynamic I'm talking about, right?
Yes, but I will say this about that. This is the truth. I have never felt comfortable with being around a bunch of actors. Like you wouldn't believe it. I'm in a room. I could turn it on.
I think you're doing fine.
Quick and witted and funny. But I just always felt like I didn't belong. Like I didn't quite belong. And it's not that there aren't great people out there and great, there's a lot of actors I know who are wonderful human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just part of me that just is like, I want to hang out with my friend Tom, who grew up down the street from me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hang out with, I don't want to say real people, but people that I feel like I could relate to more, maybe.
Right.
So it's not that I don't have a lot of, I have celebrity friends. I certainly do a lot. And, we're very friendly, but I don't hang out with them all the time.
Right.
You know what it is? Because most of the time it takes a lot of energy because you still feel like you're on a little bit. You can't really kind of just turn off.
Well, especially with you, you've got you're facially famous. You are. I mean, if you and fill in the blank of any number of the people at a convention, you're sitting there, and there's 3 or 4 people that people go, oh, it's that guy. He's on that.
I'm always that guy. It's like,
You know-
I think I know that guy. I've seen him around.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all, everybody at conventions is, you
Yeah.
know.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, right? I mean, your dad's there. I mean, so many. And whereas I don't mind being a little it's a little more recognizable now, I guess, but only because of this stuff and conventions.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to be quote unquote facially famous for a while. And then and of all people, Alan Oppenheimer, who we just saw very recently, great guy. He told me, he said, that we were talking about this and that, and this has got to be 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe 30. And he said, no, kid, listen, let me tell you something. You gotta, don't worry about the camera. Hell with the camera. This is good. You're making great bucks. You're pulling serious coin. You're
entertaining the world.
He said, yeah, and Sally Struthers told me this too. Good old sweet old Sally. She said, "Oh, honey, I can't even go to the A&P. I can't go to Lucky. You know, at the time it was a grocery store." She said, "I can't. You know, I'll have 10 things on my grocery list, and I'll get out 2 hours later. You're in and out in 20 minutes. Trust me. Stay where you are."
You know what? That there is something to be said, because people will say something, and I always, well, they say, "Well, you're famous. You're a movie star." I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're a guy with a good job in your mind.
Yeah, it's like I've done some work and people recognize me, but like, you know, I still like my life. I like that I can go at places and sometimes they're like, "Oh yeah, come on in. Yeah, we'll get a table." And I like sometimes where just you're walking through the mall looking for a pair of tennis shoes and nobody gives a shit, you know, and nobody recognizes you.
And it's such a blessing to be a working actor. You know, it's like, what, 99% of actors are not working actors, you know, consistently working. And my dad always says that to me, like, you're a working actor. Like, that's all you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about being famous. Like, this.
Yeah, because anybody feels like could be famous now.
On the last podcast, we were just talking about this with, I forget his name. But anyway, it was just.
He wasn't very famous.
Riveting.
Yeah, it wasn't. He
Must have been a riveting.
But I give the analogy of like being on a sports team. You know, people don't really know anybody apart from like Tom Brady's and Michael Jordan's and like the stars on the team. But, you know, on an NFL team, there's 65 people, you know, and we know what, 2 or 3 of them, maybe, unless you're a diehard fan, you know, like 10. You know, there's still another 55 people that you don't even know about. And that working actors are the same way. You know, I know that face from somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know where. But hey, I make a living doing this, you know? Like that's to me, that's like such a brag.
Well, doing something you love,
Exactly.
number one.
Exactly.
Making a living at it, I mean, you're talking rare.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always say to people, like, you know, let's say you're middle-aged and you have a job and you don't really like it. Find something that you love. You know, find whatever. If you like doing art, well, who am I going to show do it for yourself. Be fulfilled. You know, find that purpose. Find that whatever it is, because we all have it. So it's never ever too late to do that. It really isn't.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
I'm terrible at art, like drawing.
Oh yeah,
the worst. And I can't even make a 3-dimensional box. That's how bad I am. And I just, you know, but sometimes I'll have art night and I'll have people come over and everybody will just draw something. It doesn't matter. And for an hour, a couple hours, it just kind of puts me at ease. It's my meditation in a little.
That's nice. Ways. Yeah.
I'm not worrying about being good. I'm not worrying about messing up. I'm just being. And that, I'm telling you, that goes a long way.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it makes you happy, that's what's up.
For
yeah.
sure.
Didn't Sheryl Crow say that?
Could be.
If it makes you happy.
Yes, that's
Something
true.
like
She
that.
did.
I don't know. She did.
Yeah. No, I agree. You got to, Rick Nelson, you got to please yourself. There's another song. We could do terrible songs all day. And
I have a feeling you and I could do this all day.
Yeah. No
Well, this
kidding.
is Tuned In with Jim Cummings, of course.
Yeah, it
so
is.
I want to bring it around to voice acting. And you have some wonderful voice acting career credits.
See?
Sure.
Sometimes words escape me. You know, you've played The Flash, you've played multiple characters. I have here that your first voice acting role was in Rocket Power as a sports announcer, which I've heard that you say that was a career choice that you wouldn't have mind doing.
Yeah, by the way, Jim, do I have anything in my teeth?
Not much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no.
But how did voice acting start for you?
You know, when I went to New York, my mentor in college, Dr. Combs, late Dr. Combs, he would always check in on me. Michael, what are you doing? I'm eating ramen noodles. I'm telemarketing down the street. I'm doing some off, like way the fuck off New Jersey, Broadway.
You too, huh? I did telemarketing.
Yep. Ooh. Emergency Skills Incorporated. How could I help you? Do you know that for a heart attack, you have exactly 8 minutes to live? Here's what we do at Emergency Skills, whatever it was. And we teach you the training you need.
In 7 minutes.
In 7 minutes.
So you've got a little leeway.
you got a minute. But I remember he said, call Dylan and Becky Baker. And they're actors who have worked. You'd recognize them if you saw them. And I said, okay. So he gave me their number and I called them. And they invited me over for dinner. I just left a funny message like, hey, it's Michael Rosenbaum. Dr. Combs told me to call you. I'm working, trying to be an actor here. And if you guys want to come over for dinner, I'll make you ramen noodles. And they laughed and they go, why don't you come over? So that was it. A few days later, I had nothing to do. I called them back and I said, oh, Becky, I just wanted to say thanks for dinner the other night. I really appreciate it. She goes, you know what, Michael, hold on. I'm on the other line with my agent. Clicks back and goes, hey, want to meet them? They said they'd love to meet you. It just by chance. And I went there and, the agent was like, do you have any copy or anything? And I go, no, but I took, I could wing it.
For those that don't know what copy is.
Copy is like, something to read, copy, like to, show your voice. Because they were mostly voice acting. Mm-hmm. And I remember something I did for acting for the camera in college. It was a class I took. And it was a commercial I did as part of my final thing for the class. If you like yummy things like peach parfait, come on, live a little. Have a cup of U-Ban for dessert. U-Ban, the gorgeous coffee. Just think, bacon and eggs for breakfast and dessert. A nice sandwich for lunch and dessert. And I just went, and they were laughing and this, and then I gave it like an impression of like the Jaws trailer. I was like, it was like, what was the trailer for Jaws?
Boom, 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 boom. I'll give you the music.
It was like, no creature has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without fear, without logic. It is as though God created the devil and gave him Jaws. See it before you go swimming. And I just had them in the palm of my hand. They go, oh, we're going to send you out.
That's
I had
good.
no experience in voiceover. So they just started sending me out. Yeah. And it really wasn't until I moved to LA and my voiceover agent goes, they just called with a cancellation. Can you run in and do an episode of Batman just as it's like 5 lines? I recommended you.
Let me think.
Andrea Romano.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I did it. And from there on, she would call me for stuff. She goes, come in and audition for The Flash. Yeah. I went in, I got it. And I just started doing a lot of voice work and video games. And I'm not near where you are, but like I was working.
No, you work.
And, I just started doing guest stars for, Rocket Power. There's so many. I mean, but yes, the Thornberries.
Thornberries.
The wild.
What else did I do?
Tim Curry was
Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. I have here.
James Gunn's Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah.
But I just, I love
James Gunn did that, huh? Mm-hmm. So was that your intro to him?
No, we were friends. That's why I got it. You know how this business is.
For sure.
Although you think that if someone's a close friend and you're able to give them work, you should. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always happen.
I've given this example before. It's like you would do the same thing at the post office. You would do the same thing at the family coffee shop. It's like that's human nature.
Why wouldn't you?
Hey, there's a job opening. You're a friend of mine. I have some pull here. You know?
I did that. I directed this little movie, this independent comedy, raunchy comedy. I just love it, and I made it for like $600,000. But I flew some of my friends out for it to play little parts and things like that.
Why not?
Asked my friend to play a big part. I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Whenever I could do something, if someone's right for it and they're my friend, you're in. If I know your abilities, now if I know they're not that good, I'm not gonna. You're just not right for it.
Yeah.
I need somebody who can act.
Yeah.
You just got a new show. Speaking of, you just got a new show picked up that you produced.
Well,
correct?
Sort of correct. So we're still in the process of getting it made. But it is we have such amazing people on this. It's
Do we dare give the title, or we don't want to jinx it?
well,
I understand both.
It's about a female serial killer. I'll say that. And Jeff Frost, who ran Sony for years, he has a new production company, and one of his first shows is with Vince Gilligan, who created Breaking Bad. Of
course.
So he's doing a show, and I went in the room, and he had read a script that I read. He loved it, but the script was already sent out and got some passes. So he's like, "Yeah, we don't want to touch something right now that's been, we want something fresh." He's like, "Do you have anything else?" And I go, "Yeah." And off the cuff, this 15-minute pitch of this show, this idea that I had based on a true story. And he goes, "Sold. That's exactly what we want to do." And so we got a showrunner, and now we're on to a big actress. And once these things sort of, we're getting close.
Yeah.
It's I can't say much more than that, but it's exciting. I also have a hockey show that I wrote, and I'm really excited about that, and we're talking to this Canadian company.
You're a big hockey fan.
Big hockey fan.
And you just played in that charity match.
And it was on TV, and it was for the fires to raise money. And I was on the line with Mark Messier. I don't know if you guys care, but he's a big hockey player. And the first play of the game, he gives me this awesome pass, and I one time at top corner, and it was on TV, and I was so excited.
Wow.
Dang.
It was like, that as close as I'm going to come to ever.
Yeah.
I missed the game. I was looking for highlights last night.
I got 2
that's
goals,
crazy.
an assist. I mean, it was
on.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love
Jesus.
hockey. But it's what was I talking about? I don't even.
You and Rob Paulson.
We
are big
segued away
hockey
from
guys.
you said you had a hockey
Rob.
show.
But yeah.
Yeah, the hockey show. Sorry, yeah. And then I want to direct this horror film, so we have some funding, but I need a little more. So working on that. I love horror movies, and what I found doing 2 podcasts. I'm doing Talkville, which is a Smallville rewatch podcast.
Oh,
so
there we go. Talkville, I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what it is, my age. I'm not old or anything, but I just found that, like, for the first time in my life in the last 5 years, I'm doing things because I love them. I'm enjoying the process, and I'm not looking just at the end result. It's got to do this. It's got to get sold. It's got to be a hit. It's got to. The first part is creating.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
really fun. And so I'm having fun just coming up with all these ideas. I'm like, I want a puppy product.
Yes.
My friend goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. So your dog's breath smells like a puppy again." And so
Can I ask you about that?
I'm telling you.
Have you got any on you? Because I had garlic.
I'll send you some.
Okay, good.
No.
That's I'll take it.
But it works, and it's awesome, and it's like, it's doing well, and you just, like, it's on Amazon. You, like, put it in your dog's water in the morning, a cap full, and it's odorless and tasteless, so your dog doesn't. And then I wrote a fart book for kids, and I was like, I'm just doing things I want to do, whether they become successful. Honestly, for the first time, it doesn't matter. I'm enjoying the moment. I really am, because life really. The older you get, you realize how fragile, how short life really is. So if you're not enjoying it, what are you doing? Whose life are you living?
Yeah, I had one of we have something in common. One of my favorite. I did a lot of talking toys. Pooh or Tigger or this one.
My dream.
This one was Taz, and it was Arm Fart Taz. Thank you. You're welcome.
Arm Fart Taz.
And you literally, and he would sit there, he's Taz, and you'd get this arm and you go, and
I bet it sold a lot.
And it sold a lot. And I no longer, do I have one? I think I have one at home.
I think you might.
Yeah, there's one at home.
That's pretty damn cool.
You can't beat that.
All I've had is a couple Funkos.
Class out the
and
wazoo.
a couple action figures, which is great. But, like, I've never done. I'd love to do a little pull a string back.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong.
Great, but it's a fun fart book. It's like beautiful and colorful, and their farts are really mine. I sent the publisher my farts.
Wow.
Were you doing arm farts?
No, real farts. If I felt a good one coming, I'd record it and I'd send it to them.
How would you record it?
My voice memos.
Quickly.
You would use your phone.
You want to hear one now?
Yeah.
I thought you'd never ask.
They're voice memos, man. They're right here. Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, should I give you a drum roll?
Hang on. Well, I got to find it now.
Okay.
Is it? Oh, this is an airplane fart. I don't.
There's coincidentally one's flying overhead. What are the odds?
Oh yeah, I totally did that on purpose. Is this an airplane?
Are you magic?
Why isn't it working? You're lucky it's not working.
No.
You're lucky.
Well, as long as it's not fragrant.
Won't be able to smell it.
No, you won't be able to. But it was fireworks. Why won't it? Can you hear it in there? Yeah, I don't know why it's
We'll
not
take your
working.
word for it.
Oh no, here we go. All right, here we go.
Oh, we got
Fireworks. So I use that.
That
as
is not a real fart.
Yeah, it is.
That is you taking bubble wrap and going like this.
No, you can hear me setting it up like movement, and there's
What
a
are you,
scene.
like, adjusting
There's
your
a
cheeks?
scene in the book that's fireworks, and this kid can make his fart sound like anything. So his family's fireworks, they didn't have any, so he created his own fart show, his fireworks show with fart bombs and So
That's
it's
mucho.
the kid's only talent is making his farts sound like things you hear every day. So he becomes friends with the frogs.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We had a
That's
kid,
hilarious.
God rest him, his name was Pippi Valerio, and he could fart at will.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah,
but close.
I mean, that's not bad.
yeah.
I'm not real sure how big the demand is.
No, my
The boy at
girlfriend.
parties.
My girlfriend doesn't mind because when I fart, because I swear to God, it's an anomaly, but they don't smell. My friends are like, "You're lucky your farts don't smell." 95% of them. So I can fart, and farts didn't smell. Would they bother you? Yes, it still would bother you.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they come out of your ass.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
yeah, they
it's-
still bother you.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Well, the fragrance is, wow, all juice, no seed. There's something in
Maybe
there.
next
something
book will
to
be
said.
scratch and sniff.
Scratch it. Ooh, yes. Yes.
Did I just come up with a new one?
I think you did. Oh,
It
Lord,
sounds like a
have
skunk,
mercy.
or it smells like a skunk, or it smells like I don't know, whatever. It smells like cheese.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I spent a month in Africa, and they had
Yeah.
they had a similar, and I was thinking, and it was all the different animals, and I was thinking, if only they had a scratch and sniff on this. Here's the baboon.
Wouldn't that
Oh,
be?
damn. Yeah,
But that's a great idea.
That's a baboon.
Why don't they do
Yeah,
that? Because I
yeah.
know they wear off the smells, but you'd have
still.
it. It'd work for a couple of months.
Yeah, until you over scratched. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't over scratch that stuff.
Smallville.
only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
How many years did Smallville run for?
It ran for 10. I left after season 7. My contract ended at 6. I added 1 year, and then I came back for the series finale They had me for one full 24-hour day.
Oh, wow.
And I had to wear a ball cap. I said, I'm not shaving.
I was going to ask you that.
And rumor has it you were the first Lex Luthor to actually shave his head
Shaved
instead
my
of
head
wear-
for 7 years, 160 something episodes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I didn't know what I was getting into because I didn't realize it'd be 2.5 hours. Because they not only have to shave your head, but then they have to because your hairline, they have to match these colors and put different just to blend it in. And it took 2.5 hours for the first couple of years. They got it down to 2. So if crew call was 6 a.m., I was there at 4 or 3:30 in the morning. So I was there, and then afterwards, half an hour to clean up. So my days when I worked were long, and it got old. After a couple seasons, you're like, okay, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way.
But what would it be? Yeah, I mean, Nair?
No, but they probably could do something now with the CGI and all that stuff, effects, where they could put something on you that tracks you, and just everywhere you move, it just they could probably do something. But I shaved it. I'm glad I did, because when I tried the bald cap at the end, I hated it. I hated how it felt. It made my head bigger, which is not good because my head's already big. So, I'm glad I shaved it. And it's amazing that the show still has legs after all these years. It's such a great fan base.
Where did you guys
It
shoot
really is.
that?
Vancouver.
What studio? I mean, was it? It wasn't Bridge VFS.
No, it was. What studio is that? Burnaby Studios.
Okay.
They called it in Vancouver, and so
Yeah,
we
they
had a
changed it to
couple warehouses.
VFS, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing time. It was, it feels so far away. It feels like it was so, but people say, would you ever do it again? I'm like, if it was right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did you like Vancouver?
If they had any money.
I like Vancouver. I mean, I didn't love being there while I was working. I miss my dog. I miss my friends. So I started flying back quite frequently. So if I was off on a Friday and I worked Monday, I'm gone. If I was, even if I had 2 nights to stay in LA, I'd take the 3-hour flight down just for 2 nights.
Yeah, 3 hours, that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Did you ever miss work because you had to fly back?
No. You know what? The one thing I can say that I'm proud of is I've never been late. I hit my mark. I always know my lines. I try to be a professional. Like, I'm going to give you everything I've got when I'm here. But I also expect people to do their jobs too. You know, it's like, there's nothing worse than, you know, when someone, you don't trust them as a director, or you don't trust, or, you know, people are messing up. Everybody's there to have fun, but also let's get this these days are long. Let's get them done. And by the end, you're like, hey, you know, and I notice some directors are there, they want to save their ass, but I'm like, we've got this scene. We can go home an hour early.
Right.
Why do you need another wide shot?
Because you need to get golden time, baby.
You
need to get into that golden time.
Well, you know what's funny? You don't get a lot of overtime.
That got his attention. You notice that.
You don't get a lot of overtime when you're a series regular.
I asked that question because I worked on a show in Vancouver, and one of the leads would fly back to LA every weekend, and frequently we'd be on set Monday morning, need him for the first shot. They'd be like, where is he? Where is he? On the radio.
Serious?
Be like, oh, he's just about to board his flight from LA. He missed it earlier this morning.
Yeah, I remember you
So
saying
we'd
that.
sit around on set and wait for him to fly from LA to Vancouver to get picked up by transport, driven to set, hair, makeup.
How irresponsible.
So much.
How do people like that work?
I don't know.
There's a big actor. I won't say his name.
I won't say his name either.
But I've heard it from so many people that he comes on set when he's ready. And sometimes it's half an hour. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. When he's ready, he'll come on set.
Yeah, it's
so
ridiculous.
the crew and
It's
cast
It's diva
are
behavior.
constantly. And I like this guy. I thought, I was like, you know, I met him once. He's really nice. And I was like, that is absolutely brutal.
Just
Like,
give him
I don't care who you are. I would get fired off that show because I would say something.
Right.
I would say, I know you're a big star. I know you make movies. I know you have more money. You could buy this whole crew. But dude, do you not care about anybody here's time? Do you not care about our time? Do you not care about our production?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I would
So
call them out.
frustrating.
And if they fired me, they fired me because I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
I can't deal with bullies.
Yeah.
Never have.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
You know?
And I almost forgot, anytime we talk about Smallville, I got to give a shout out to my auntie Erica. Erica's my auntie.
Erica Durance?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
How about that?
She's
What?
yeah.
She is the sweetest
my
woman.
dad's brother's wife is her sister.
Wow. Erica Durance is amazing. And we do a lot of these cons now. And it's funny because I've gotten a lot closer with the cast since the show ended. Because you're there to work, you don't go out much.
Yeah.
And then over the years with cons and stuff, we're just like, it's a great rapport. We have a great time.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, and you do a lot of those too, right?
Yeah, I probably do about 8 to 10 a year. How
Oh,
many
that's
do you
not
do?
bad. I mean, not many.
You don't do many?
No, I mean, that's... I do that. I feel like I do that in a month sometimes. You know, I was like, which is really
You do
hard.
a lot of them.
Yeah, I do a lot of them. I've been doing them maybe 10 years.
Easy,
and I just
fun.
trickled in, and different characters. Well, like Darkwing Duck, was a biggie for me, and we're bringing him back. And you know what happened? It was interesting because when Disney Plus came out, before you were just relying on standard reruns from here or there. Well, Disney Afternoon was a big thing. And it took me, it was years before I even realized this, but I was in every single show. I mean, I don't mean like once or twice. I was in every single show of this. I was Darkwing Duck. I had to be in that one. I was in Bonkers.
How cool is this? So now it's
and
a
Gummy Bears,
resurgence.
almost every single show.
So everybody's seeing those again.
Tailspin, yeah, and they all come up, and what cracks me up is you'll see a 7-year-old come up dressed as Darkwing Duck, and his dad, well, we're raising him right, you know, and of course I raised him too, you know, the dad, and I am the toad that flaps in the, you know, and it's just amazing, and it's it's a blessing. Thank you, Lord. I don't take it for granted. That's
have you
for
ever
sure.
done something where you're in the studio and they go, it's something's not working, and they want you to come up with something, and you come up with something that ends up being legendary?
Kind of, yes.
Tell him the story about the quotes.
Yeah, the quotes. Yeah, there was when Darkwing, his call to arms would be, the bad guys running away. They're running out. They're ready to blow up Earth or something, and Darkwing would throw a gas bomb, a smoke bomb, and as the smoke cleared, it would, I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the winged scourge that pecks at your nightmares. I am Darkwing Duck. And by about 7 shows in, I would always do that. I would always do what they wrote.
Right.
Because the first line was always the same. The third line was always the same, but the one in the middle changed every show. And so about 7 shows in, I always say I wish I kept this script. But it said, I am the terror that flaps in the night. It doesn't matter what the hell I write here. Cummings is going to come up with something else anyway. I am Darkwing Duck. And hello. And so I did. And so I always came, And,
I was talking about there was the article and because Jim always improvs lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Improvs a whole bunch of lines. And wasn't there like an article where they were like top 10 Jim Cummings quotes?
Oh, those. Yes. Okay. Well, that too. Well, that was Hondo. Hondo Ohnaka from Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels. He's my guy, and he's great. He's got his own. The biggest ride at Disneyland, the biggest ride at Disney World, is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Well, he's a smuggler.
Yeah,
he's a thief. He's a pirate, and the line would be. Something about, something in the show would happen. And somebody somewhere along the line started realizing they were apparently memorable. And they started writing them down. And it wound up in Vanity Fair. Yeah, Vanity Fair. And it's with the top 12 quotes from Hondo Ohnaka. And I made up 10 of them. So it was kind of cool.
Wow.
And and it was great. It was, the line that they wrote was, oh boy, I wish I could just tell you how much fun I've had over the years, and it was something kind of bland like that. And so I said, the stories I could tell, so many of them true, and things like that, just kind of
making it your own, because you knew the character. When you auditioned for that, did you audition?
Yeah.
Did you do that voice first from the get-go?
Yes. Yeah, and I likened it to I'm good at blending voices, or maybe I'm not good at it, but it's too late. I've been doing it. And he is Yul Brynner and Charles Bronson, Hondo Ohnaka put together. Because when you can't, or another thing that I do, free tips here, you can do your relatives, which
I've done I remember
that.
You told me you did that
one.
Yeah.
My Aunt Grace was lieutenant. Was Lieutenant Spinelli on Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And bless her heart, that's kind of what she sounded like
I
to me.
should do some of my family.
Yeah.
I have an uncle who's
They're free characters.
I have an uncle who's like, Mike, what are you doing? Stop. Ma, Dad, he always does this. Why are you doing that?
That's
Mike.
a character.
And I'm like, that's a character.
That is. That is absolutely a character.
My grandfather, that's right. You get like my grandfather was always like, if I farted or something, people don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
But like you got to use everything. It's in your arsenal.
You do a lot of impressions, right?
Yeah, I would Andrea Romano, Bruce Timm, Bruce.
Yes.
And Bruce would say, hey, do your walking for this character. So there's a character Ghoul on Batman Beyond. I was like, Batman, you're dead. And you know it. So here's what you need to do. And do your, I did Kevin Spacey for Deadshot. I think it was Deadshot.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no, listen to me, Batman. No, I'm telling you this. Get me the goddamn sweet and low. You know, I forgot what I said, but
Sweet and low.
whatever. And then
That's good.
But I always want to incorporate, impressions if I can, or like you said, maybe I should do that more, where it's a mixture between Nicholson and Walken. Maybe it's like, I don't know what that would be.
No, I don't either, but it wouldn't be pretty.
Wow. And it's funny. My friend Dave years ago, he was going out with this publicist, and he's like, "Who do you represent?" She's like, "Oh, look," and he grabbed her phone. Is that really Jack Nicholson's number? She's like, "Yeah." He's like, he was a little drunk, and he pressed it. She goes, "Don't." And all of a sudden, he's waiting to see if it's actually Nicholson. And he hears, "Hello."
Oh,
and he goes, "Jack? Yeah." and then he hung up the phone. He got so nervous. That was the story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I love that stuff. I mean, I would listen to actors I love, like I told you earlier, like John Malkovich. No, what you couldn't possibly know, Frank, is that you know what I mean? So I would do.
I was just about to bring up, because we heard that
great.
one.
He says,
It was really good.
That's so good.
My asshole, motherfucker.
I love how everybody who does
Eastwood.
it, you have to do the face. You have to do
Malkovich?
the face. No, for Clint Eastwood.
Well, I worked with him, so he was like, I just want to say you gave me a sensational audition, and if you do what you did in the audition, I'll be very happy.
Oh, man.
I go, you could fire me right now, Clint. I'm like, whoa. I said that to him. He was I just.
How great is that?
I just didn't really leave the house.
Yeah.
I just kind of like watched movies and thought, the guy from Silence of the Lambs. I'd be like,
wait, was she a great big fat person? Don't you hurt my precious lady. You don't know what pain is.
and I would just do all these things.
so
Why'd you
good.
kill that bird, asshole? I just like to. I'm trying to do Owen Wilson, but that one's hard. Like, oh, this is great. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like my nose is like a little
That's right.
crooked.
It's right.
And it's along the lines of what's her name who does that. What was she saying? Like, dumbass. Who's the woman who does all those commercials? She's like, dumbass. I can't do it, but everybody's doing her impression now.
I don't know.
I want to learn it. She's the one from White Lotus first season.
Oh.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge.
I wish I could do that. I got to work on that one.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. I love her. Yeah. She's great.
She's great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That is too good.
I can't even watch the new season of White Lotus. It's too good.
I watched the first 2 episodes so far. It's good.
I'm waiting until the season's over because I have to watch it all the way through.
I know that's the best
love
way to
that
do
show.
it when you can just binge it. But sometimes I'm impatient.
No,
What are you gonna
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Here's a little trivia. We got
Trivia?
a little trivia for you guys. Fun facts.
You're gonna win.
Fun facts. Actually, it's not trivia. It's a fun fact.
Oh, fun facts.
Yeah, fun fact
Let's
for the
change it
audience.
to trivia.
Jim and Michael were technically in a show together, just not at the same time. Jackie Chan Adventures. Do you remember
I
doing
did
that
like
show?
8 episodes of that, and you know what? We shot them all. We recorded them all in one day because I was flying in from Vancouver.
Oh, that's
I didn't have
cool.
time. We did 8 episodes in one
Drago.
day. It was like, Drago. I don't even remember what I did. I couldn't
and I
remember.
was-
And you
I
were
was
Hawk
Hawk
Fu.
Fu.
Yes.
Hawk Fu.
Remember the voice?
Yeah, I think I do.
I think I was something like this. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I was a big guy, and I had really bad hair, big orange bad hair. He was a big, gigantic Hulk Hogan-y looking guy, and he would always jump through the air, and it would be farting buzzard, and he would do the whatever that was,
That's awesome. Can you do Droopy Dog?
only, but I have to go.
I have to go like this, but otherwise I won't be able to.
I can't. How do you do that? Help me out.
You have to have a fatter face than you do.
I don't know what's going down, sir. That's not bad.
You're sorry, sir.
Can you, when he says going down, sir?
Please try this at home, kids.
That's so good.
Yeah, but that's
but
Did you ever do cereal commercials?
I actually did. Yeah, I did a Wheaties commercial. I cannot remember it though. I've had
Those are
any
big
number of
paydays, huh?
Yeah.
When you
we
do
like
those big commercials like that. What's the biggest commercial you ever did?
Oh, that's a pretty good question, isn't it? Haviline Motor Oil.
Do you remember what you said?
Buy some of this shit.
I think I did a condoms commercial. I can't remember. It was a voice that was like, "Get real, like get real. Only Trojan condoms." I forgot what it was, and I was also like, I don't know. I've done like Magnavox and things like that, but I can't remember any of those voices.
Yeah.
I want something that's memorable.
Well, what's great was I was the Hallmark Channel guy for like 9 years. Coming up next on Hallmark Channel, Michael Landon stars in Little House on the Prairie.
That's awesome.
And I was wholesome.
Can you do the guy who's like, introducing the Dirt Devil? You know that guy?
Yeah.
Remember the Dirt Devil guy?
Yeah, and he and Tom Bodezia.
Yeah. The Dirt Devil.
We'll leave the light on for you. Was it Comfort Inn? Big
Motel 6.
Motel 6.
We'll keep the light on for you.
We'll leave the light on.
I like it when you do the guy, the My Pillow guy.
Oh yeah. Oh
What's his name again?
yeah, Mike Lindell. He reminds me of my Aunt Grace. I knew you would.
Oh,
And he's
my
happier
gosh.
than the world. I mean, you just can't even. It's like, calm down, Mike. I'm sitting on one.
My
Good for you, buddy.
My friend Harlan is a stand-up comedian. He was the guy in Dumb and Dumber. Remember the cop that pulls him over? Like,
Oh, yeah,
"You
yeah.
drinking
He's
on
a funny
some of
guy."
Grandpa's cough medicine, are you, bud?"
Yeah, he does that little
That guy.
twitch.
He does.
Yeah.
He's doing stand-up one night, and he gets up there and goes, "Yeah, I had this terrible dream." Only people in LA are going to get this. I had this terrible dream that somebody broke in my house, you know. And they were like coming after me with a knife. And then they finally got to me and they started stabbing me, man. And the audience was like, "What is this comedy?" He's like, and they're stabbing me. And finally I look at him. I said, "You killing me, Larry?" I died.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're
He was-
killing me, Larry, and it's Larry.
You killing me, Larry?
I saw him at the Laugh Factory
He's
not
so
too long
funny.
ago, and oh my God, I was in tears.
He did this one joke where he goes, "You ever have an ant problem, ma'am? Have you had an ant problem?" "Well, I had all these ants all over my yard and everything. So one day I said, fuck this. I grabbed a bucket and I put all the ants in the bucket and then I just dumped them in the pool. And then I thought for a second, a tear came down the corner of my eye and I went inside and I grabbed a box of Cheerios and one by one I mean, Harlan is one of the funniest.
God,
You
that's
have his
funny
delivery
as
so down.
Oh, he's one of my best friends. He's
Oh,
great.
that's good
He's
stuff.
we did a movie called Sorority Boys. And it was like, it's a kind of a cult class. You can't make that movie anymore. But like working with him was a riot. And we were in drag the whole movie for 3 months at Disney.
Perfect.
It was great. Oh God.
Did you say at Disney?
At Disney. It was a Disney movie.
Really?
And rated R.
Well,
and
obviously.
They buried it. It was like, yeah. And, you know, people come up to me all the time. "I love that movie." I'm like, "You were the one that saw it." They're like, "Thanks."
So it was you, yeah. People
was
come
like-
up to me all the time and say, "Do people really come up to you all the time?"
You know what I love is
That's
people
I
go-
think I stole that.
my least favorite thing in the world about having any kind of fame is when drunk people come up to you and they're barking orders at you like, "Hey,
Dance monkey.
come here, take a picture of my girlfriend." I'm like,
Yeah.
"She can come over here."
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Yeah. Really? Great, that's great advice.
And then another girl will come over to you and go, "I don't know who you are. I don't even care." It's like,
Yeah.
I've never seen anything you did. I go, "Are you coming here just to insult me
Thanks.
then?"
That's great. You know, it's funny.
They feel the need.
Yeah.
I was just going to tell you the same thing. What are the odds? what are the odds?
Oh, that's funny. I have a question. I was thinking about it. I actually just watched Guardians 2 a couple weeks ago.
You blink, you miss me. You know.
Hey,
Well, they
hey.
cut out a lot of stuff that I was supposed to have powers and stuff that they were going to show and all this stuff.
That happened to my dad in The Dark Knight Rises too. He was on set for like 3 weeks, and then it's like, boop. It's like one
I had
little.
a blast though.
And he's in there for about 4 seconds.
Yeah, but I
right?
want to ask you. You surely spent some time around Sylvester Stallone, right?
Constantly.
Yeah.
I love Sly. He and I hung out for a week. The first
that's good.
in Guardians 2 and then Guardians 3 I came back and we hung out for another day. And like, everybody thought we were best friends because he walks on set. He goes, "Hey, Rosenbaum, get over here. What's going on?" And we started having this conversation. And, you know, Sly's really funny. I always tell the story about like, last day on set, I brought my Rambo lunchbox for him to sign. And he looks at me, he says, "Hey, you got a Rambo lunchbox?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How old are you?" I go, "I'm 48 or some other time." He's like, "Hey, look, I'll sign it, but you need to talk to somebody. I don't know about this." He was so sweet. I remember he couldn't get a line out. He goes, "Look, Ravagers don't. What's the line?" "It's Ravagers, not Ravengers." "That's what I said." He goes, "Look, Ravagers." He's like, "Who wrote this?" He's like, "I did." James says, he's like, "Look, we're gonna loop it anyway, so look." Yeah. But he was a treat, man. I just remember so many conversations, like I can't even tell you some of the I'll tell you the stories off camera.
Yeah.
But I have some good ones.
All right.
Ooh, okay.
I have two that are really funny. That you'll be like, "Why did you do that?" And wow, his reaction was genius.
Ooh.
Who was that?
I could say one of them. I think it's not bad.
Go for it.
It's like
If you don't want it in, we'll just cut it for you.
I'll say it after.
All right.
I'll say it.
Okay.
Who was that
bad,
who
huh?
had?
No,
good.
it's not bad, but
It's that good.
Everybody's so sensitive about everything that all of a sudden you're this. So I'm like,
I get it.
For those of you watching, Corey Feldman had a hilarious story on this podcast as well about Sylvester Stallone. You got to watch it. He was talking about he squirted lemons in his eyes because he thought he would be younger by doing that, and the way Corey tells it is just hilarious.
Yeah, I heard that story. I also there was when he did Judge Dredd, he comes up to Rob Schneider, and in the very beginning of the movie says, "Hey Rob, look, I have this line. I say, 'Who am I?' And you're gonna say, 'You are the law.' You like it?" He's like, yeah. He goes immediately to the director. He goes immediately to the director and goes, "Dude, Sly came up to me and says I have to say this stupid line." So it's like, it says, "You have to say, you are the law." I was like, "Look, we're not filming this until like 3 months from now. Sly will forget it. Don't worry about it." 3 months later, it's like, "Who am I?"
Oh, boy.
What? Say the line, Rob. He's like, I don't want to say it. Say the fucking line. Say the fucking line. You're the law.
Oh God!
Just like, oh my God,
what a character!
When he barks, you do. I mean, you.
He's so funny. He even said to me on set, he goes, "Yeah, everybody always thinks I'm so serious all the time. I like to laugh. You know, I think I'm kind of funny. I like to, you know, so, you know." He had this conversation like I was his therapist for a second. I was
Yeah.
You know, look, you know, I'm funny, right?
Yeah.
I like to have a good time. They always come up to me like, just fucking, you know, hey, just say what you're gonna say.
Oh God!
I loved it.
He's got to have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I mean,
he wouldn't stop talking, and I had like this one line in this scene, and I opened the scene, and I'm like just making sure I don't fuck it up. It's like technical jargon or whatever. And he's like looking around. He's like looking on the set, and like everybody, we're rolling camera, and he's like, "Look, you think in the future they know how to get rid of rust." And I go, "Sly, would you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to remember my line." He goes, "Oh yeah, all right."
you
Look.
think they get rid of rust?
It's like, you think the future they would get rid of rust?
Yeah.
He was a riot, man. A riot.
God, that's
Yeah.
hysterical.
All right, now's the point in the show where we do a little voice swap game. Do you know the voice swap game?
No.
All right.
It's a damn fine. It's a damn fine moment.
It is.
That's a damn fine moment.
All right, so you're going to say a line of one of your characters, and then Jim is going to repeat that same line in one of his character voices, and then we'll do vice versa. And we have a prompt for the first one. We'd like you to say Lex Luthor's line, "You were right about me all along, Mr. Kent. I am the villain of the story."
All right. Mm-hmm. Do I look at him when I say it?
Yeah.
And then I would imagine
And then you'll do it as poo.
it's got to be poo. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You were right about me all along, Mr. Kent. I am the villain of the story.
You were right about me all along, Mr. Kent. I am the villain of the story.
Wow. Can we end it on that? That's brilliant.
Are you scared now?
That is good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do one more with Jim. Do a Darkwing, and we'll do a Flash.
Okay.
I don't even know how the Flash. I could do Flash. It was like a higher voice. Go ahead.
Well, we could always do.
Can't I just do it like Nicholson?
Sure.
I could do
whatever you want.
I could do one of the Darkwing things. It's always I am the terror that flaps in the night. Separate line in the middle. I am Darkwing Duck. So if that helps, and I can give you one that they rejected because
Do
I
it.
always
Say the one that
okay.
rejected.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the floaty that will not flush in the toilet bowl of crime. I am Darkwing Duck.
I'm the terror. It flaps in the night. I'm Darkwing. Don't forget it. You're an eggplant. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. That was a lot of lines. I was like trying to remember.
yeah,
What
sorry
was the
about that.
last line you said?
I am Darkwing Duck.
What was right before that?
I am the floaty that will not flush in the toilet bowl of crime.
I am the floaty that will not flush in the
Toilet bowl
toilet
of
bowl
crime.
of crime. Wow. You came up with that?
Yeah. They didn't
They
use
let
it.
you do whatever you want, didn't they?
They didn't use it.
But what a job that we have that
Yeah.
sometimes they let you improvise. I always say,
Yeah.
unless it's a drama, let me have fun after 2 takes.
Yeah.
If you got it,
Yeah.
let me do something. Let me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
You
love
always
that.
have to do
And
it.
You have to. If somebody like you as well, you
Yeah,
have to be able to off
yeah.
the cuff.
I miss blooper reels. Remember
Oh, dude,
blooper
I was
reels?
all the blooper reels
Remember
on Smallville.
blooper reels were so
bet, huh?
All of
blooper
them.
reels were
There's
so
5
popular.
minutes of me each season.
Blooper reels were so popular at one point in time that they even did animated blooper reels. Do you remember that for Toy Story? They animated blooper reels.
Oh,
they had all the
yeah,
characters. They did it for.
genius.
They had it for
That's
Toy Story. They had it
and
for
they
A
all go,
Bug's
"Oh,
Life.
That's not my line.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can we stop? They actually animated that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
They did it for A Bug's
I love
Life
that.
too, and it was like every teen comedy had one, at least every TV show for sure.
Yes.
I love outtakes, and I said even my little independent movie, I'm like, we're doing outtakes at the end. They'll have music over, and we'll do outtakes. And
Yeah.
I pulled out outtakes. There was one where this guy Mike Haggerty he played the principal, and he was awesome, but he couldn't get the line out. Where the line was, "I will fuck you all 4 of you square in the ass." That was just the line. And he looks at it, goes, he couldn't get the line. He goes, "I will squarely fuck the," and I go, "Squarely?" We couldn't get it out. We were laughing so hard. He's like,
Whoa.
"Square, what did I say?" And it was just, I love when people mess up. And
Oh, man.
it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, occasionally I'll get stuck in a loop and I can't get out of that. It's
Or laugh.
Yeah,
You can't stop laughing.
Yeah, can we do this later?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, let's
and then
skip
you pick
this.
it-
Let's
yeah,
bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Oh God.
God.
Yeah,
This has
I'm
been
glad-
fun.
I'm
Yeah,
glad I'm not
very
the only
fun.
one that happens to. Good stuff.
Is there anything you
This
want
is
to
great.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug,
No,
advertise?
just if you guys want to give my podcast a chance, it's called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. And it's great. We talk to celebrities, and it's not like celebrity talk. It's like human being talk and talk about mental health. And I think you'll really enjoy it. Give it a shot. Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. And,
Really good podcast.
Yeah, so.
Damn fine, said Jim sincerely.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's been a big inspiration for us, I'd say, your podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
well,
been
thanks.
great. It's a really good
You know,
show.
I didn't know what I was getting into when I first did it. I honestly thought, I'll make some money and I'll just talk. And then all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, you can affect people. You could help people. And when I started opening up and being more vulnerable and disarming, and that's when it just became more real. And so these conversations are off the cuff and they're just like, you know, just what makes you tick, man? What is it? How did you, like we talked about in the beginning of this? It's like, you know, the naysayers and did you ever hit a rut and depression and anxiety and the things that everyone, you know, can understand and relate to.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Did you say make money? Will you make a note of that? He said.
Yeah,
He said make.
but do you love it?
some money? Yes.
Do you love it?
Yeah, I love. I have that little change jar. Are you kidding me?
You're doing
No,
this
that's right.
and you're having a blast.
No.
Like that, honestly, it's like,
That's it.
it's become that. It's become
Yeah.
where I'm just like, I enjoy hearing about people and their lives. And
Yeah.
I have ADD, horrible. But when I put those headphones on, which I didn't today, I just zone. I'm listening. It forces me to really, for an hour,
It
just
does,
boom, as an interviewer. It really helps me. I don't know what it is. I guess the sound, it just,
Well, it closes off the extraneous.
it does.
Carbo.
It does. And it helps.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Man.
and get Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath on Amazon for your dog's breath. It's really good.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, I'll bring you some next time. You have a dog?
No, but I'll get one just
Get one.
so that I.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, we do. We're kind of dog sitting right now, and her name is Winnie.
Is it really?
Yeah, it actually is named Winnie. Yeah, little dachshund. Yeah, as in the poo. See, because in case you didn't, never mind. So yeah.
Hey, would you do me a favor? You could say no. Would you do a voicemail just saying Michael's not here as Winnie the Pooh?
Oh yes.
You would?
All right, and you will be there, all of you.
All right, ready? Hold on.
Hello? Oh, mother. I'm ever so sorry, but you see, Michael is not here. So leave him a beep when you hear this message. I don't think I said that right.
Brilliant.
Let's hear it. Did it work?
Let's see.
I hope we got the plane.
Did it record?
I think so, yeah.
Hello? Oh, mother. I'm ever so sorry, but you see, Michael is not here. So leave him a beep when you hear this
Leave
message.
him a beep.
I don't think I said that right.
Oh,
That'll work.
that is epic.
Now that I've done this before, and you're going to get a lot of hang-ups. You're gonna, and they're that's pretty good. And it'll be
Like, what is that? I got the wrong number.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to talk on the phone.
That's true. Yeah.
I really don't.
Well, now I've done it for you.
Yes, you have. I like to FaceTime. If I'm going to talk to
Yeah.
someone, I want to see their face.
That's true.
Hearing a voice, I'm distracted all the time. I need to see a face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
All right.
stuff, man.
Need me for anything else?
Yeah. One more thing.
Yeah.
No, let me wrap it up first and then we'll do it.
Hang on. You're watching Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. I'm Michael Rosenbaum, and I'm here too.
Look at that. What a
See?
professional. He reads my mind.
There
what
you
a
go.
professional. He reads my mind. Wow.
Dos mucho.
Love
Dos
it. Love it.
mucho.
Wow, that put a huge smile
That
on my
is-
face. Well, thank you all for watching. That was another episode of Toon'd In with Jim Cummings, joined by Michael Rosenbaum. Thank you so much for being here today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, thank you so much to all of our Patreon viewers and subscribers. We love you all there. And if you don't know, you can find bonus content. That's right. Even longer interviews, extra interviews, all of a whole bunch of other good stuff over on Patreon. So search that up. Join us there. Till next time, I'm producer Chris, Jim Cummings, Michael Rosenbaum. See you in the next one. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.